So before we start talking about our stamp, let's all check our homework answers. The work looked very nice. Go ahead and correct for accuracy, please. Take a moment, and then we're going to get going with our stamp. Nice job. Awesome. One sec. That's fine. How did you do on the homework? Good. Jasmine, I got you on that. Nice job. So our objective shows today that we are moving on from evaluating, and what are we going to learn to do today? Graphing. Before we do that, let's have one more evaluating stamp. So go ahead and look at your stamp. So we needed to evaluate h of x at these three values. This turned off. Let me just turn it back on. Okay, h of 6. Which function did you use, the first or the second? Very good, because 6 is clearly greater than -3. So h of 6 equals 2/3 times 6 plus 1. Remember, pencils down for this. Make corrections after. All right, all wrong. I got 5. Raise your hand if you got 5. Fantastic. Next, we had h of -3. Why the second? Or equal to. Very good. So this notation really does influence our choices. Here, x is strictly greater than. There is no equality. Here, x is less than or equal to -3. Very good. So that'll be 2 times -3 minus 3. -6 minus 3 equals -9. Show of hands. Who matches me? Okay. On a roll. And then last but not least, h of -9. Who thinks first one? Who thinks second one? I think my vote goes with the second. Why are we saying that? Olivia?
He has a that number line, -3 is less than, -9 is less than -3.
Very good. -9 is more negative than -3, so in our inequalities, this is the only statement where -9 would be true. -9 is less than or equal to -3, so we will use our second function. So that'll be 2 times -9 minus 3, which would be -18 minus 3, -21. So whoever has the stamp, come on up. Anybody else, go ahead and take a second, make some corrections. And then I need a passer for today's note. Thank you. Anybody who I stamp off here, go ahead and at some point someone take that and pass it out to your classmate. Thank you. Thank you. If you want to split that in half with someone, go ahead and just lay it right here, guys. Wanted to make sure it says thumbs up. Hurry, hurry, let's go. Job? On the whiteboard, I did encourage you to have 3 colors. So if you have your own 3 colors, that's great. Otherwise, take a second right now. You can share between 2 of you. The bucket of highlighters is by the door. Thank you. So before we actually start graphing on this worksheet, remember the board notes we had started yesterday on piecewise functions? We're going to put our graphing notes in that, with those notes. So find where you were taking notes yesterday in your notebooks, and we're going to put our 4 graphing steps in those notes. Graphing piecewise functions. Steps. 1, write each piece. And what these mean we'll see as soon as we practice. Write each piece. 2, identify the X value or values, so we'll put an S at the end in parentheses, X value or values given to you by the domain restriction. Three, find the 2 points, and 4, graph. Excuse me. A couple people are still wrapping up their notes. Those of you who are done, start looking at our first example. Become familiar with it. Good shape. So keep these notes to the side because these are the 4 steps we are about to implement to graph these piecewise functions. 1, write each piece. 2, identify the X values given to you by the domain restriction. 3, we're going to find 2 points. And 4, we're going to graph. So let's see how this is going to work. Here's our first example. I have a piecewise function defined as f of x with how many pieces to this piecewise function? 3. Very good. What's step 1? Write each piece. So let's do that. We're going to write the first piece. X plus 3. What's the restriction on x plus 3? So when I say write each piece, I literally mean the rule and the restriction, and we're going to put it in a box. Step 1 is complete. We wrote the piece. What does step 2 say? Identify given to you by the domain. Very good. Identify the x values given to you by the domain. What's given to me here? What do I know about the domain of this piece? Very good. That's the key to the graphing that we're about to do in terms of finding our points. So how am I going to find 2 points from this information? I need 2, right? 2 makes a line or a segment. Ideas? Yes. Why is starting at 4 a great idea? She's right. Well, why? Olivia? Did everybody hear what she said? Say it louder.
That's your minimal value.
Yes. That's my smallest possible value for this piece. Right? It has to be 4. It can be equal to 4 or bigger. So let's evaluate at x equals 4. What would this expression become? 4 plus 3 equals 7. Okay? What ordered pair do I get from that? 4 comma 7. Very good. Now this is only 1 point. We said we need how many points? 2. So, thoughts on how I can get a second point? Anyone else have a thought? I know Olivia has an idea. Jasmine? What were you thinking? Well, we are going to be choosing a value, but think of what this restriction means. My x values can be what or bigger? So can we pick something a little bigger than 4? What do you want to try? 6? She said 6. Let's do 6. X equals 6. Yes, we can. Now, we want to be reasonable, right? Because it has to stay on our graph. Like, if technically I could choose 100, but does 100 make sense? No, not when we're trying to graph. Go ahead and find my ordered pair when x equals 6. Mr. 142. Hi. Good. How are you? Yes. Sure. Okay. Yep. Bye. Cassidy Nurse needs to see you real quick. So when x equals 6, tell me what to write right here. Ms. J, 142. Hi. No, not at all. Yes, I do. Okay, I'll send it right now. Yep. Bye. Security needs to see you. Okay. Let's get. Very exciting morning. What do I write right here? 6 plus 3 equals 9. Very good. What ordered pair do I get from this? She's going the wrong way. 6 comma 9. Michelle, that office all the way down on the left, on the way to the calf. Okay. 6 comma 9. Very good. Have we fulfilled all of our steps other than graphing? Did we do everything that we needed to do? Look at the notes you wrote. What's the only thing we didn't do yet? Graph. So let's graph. 4 comma 7. Important question. Is there going to be an open or a closed circle on 4 comma 7? 4, 5, 6, 7. Why closed? It can equal. This is important. The reason we know that this is closed is because I had an or equal to. So it can be a solid dot. If this was strictly greater than, what would this have been? Open. Very good. So that open-closed concept is coming back from the beginning of the year. I have my first ordered point. Where's my second ordered pair? 6, 9. Your IDs make great rulers. We want to be very precise. So if you have your ID, take it out. Or take a piece of paper, fold it in 4s, get a straight edge of some kind. Where do I start? Do I start at the point on the left or the point on the right? Left, very good. This is my starting point. And am I drawing a segment or a ray? By segment, I mean, let me clarify what I mean by that. Am I just drawing from here to here, or do I keep going? Keep going. I'll make this arrow a little bigger. Choose a color for this first piece. What we just did, we're going to repeat for the next 2 pieces of this piecewise function. Tell me the first thing I'm going to do. Write down the piece. So what am I going to write? So let's read that as x is greater than or equal to 0, reading from the middle. See that? X greater than or equal to 0, and what do I say here? Less than 4. We have our next piece. Now, I need at least how many points to graph 2? I think something really nice is here for us. Any ideas on this? I already have my 2x values. Do I have my smallest and my biggest? Yeah. So what 2x values are we going to work with? That's it. X equals 0 and x equals 4. Go ahead and find your ordered pairs. Yes. Fantastic question. We're going to come to that when we start to graph it. So everybody remember what Jasmine just asked. She said, how can it be 4 if it's strictly a less than relationship? Fantastic question. We'll come to it in a second. Let me know if we match on our ordered pairs. So it's important we take it straight through to the ordered pairs. Do we match? Raise your hand if we match. Okay, awesome. So we can graph what first? Okay, so let's go graph 0, 0. Is this going to be a solid or open? Solid, because we have that or equal to part. Now, Jasmine's question now is very valid when we talk about our next ordered pair. I know it's going to be at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, -8. But to her point, can we equal 4? No. So what kind of circle do I have to draw right here? Open circle. Is this going to be a segment or a ray? Segment. Very good. Because we're only between these 2 values. So now we are going to draw a segment between these 2 ordered pairs, these 2 points. And now choose a second color. Are we done? No. One more piece. What's our last piece? 5. 5. When what is the restriction? Less than 0. Okay. We need 2 points. What are we thinking? 0 is good. Let's work with 0. So good questions are coming up again. We're going to address those in one sec. When x is 0, what is y? Correct? When x is negative 5, what is y? Yes. We are back into one of those constant situations that we were in from yesterday's notes. Now, as soon as we said x is 0, that question came up, but wait, it can't because I don't see equality here, and you're right. So that means when we go to graph 0, 5, 0, 5, what kind of circle goes there? Open circle. Very good. Now, how about this point? How about negative 5, 5? Are we okay to graph that as a solid dot, or should that also be open? That is okay. That's going to be solid. So we're going to go to negative 5, 5. That's solid. Am I drawing a segment or a ray? A ray. When I say ray, I mean that it's going to have a solid start point and an arrow at the end. Yes? Good question. So for her question was, does this solid dot fill in the hole? Let's think if we were talking domain. Here, I would have one value. Well, let's draw it. We have an incomplete graph. Let's finish the graph and then we'll talk. Do I start at, I'm going to answer that question in a sec. Do I start at this left point or this right point? The right, and I go straight this way with a clear arrow at the end. And let's pick a third color. Do I have purple? I don't know. Pink? That might be hard to, I like the colors, don't get me wrong, but it may be hard to read when I go highlight what I wrote, so I'm going to go blue. Okay. So now that we have a complete graph, let's talk about what fills in what. If we were talking domain of this function, I come in from the left, no issues, no issues, no issues. This open circle would be filled in by what?
0.
This one. Very good. Am I still okay right here? Yeah. Yes, because I have my graph right here, and then I'm good. So domain for this, even though it doesn't ask us, this is a good conversation. Domain would be all real numbers. And I can also kind of reason on that, right? Take a look here. I have everything greater than or equal to 4 between 0 and 4. So we're kind of going backwards. Equality with 0 and then less than 0. So even in my restrictions, if I can mentally picture those as pieces of the number line, my entire number line is accounted for. How about the range? Would we have restrictions on the range? Yeah. Yes, we would. Because here clearly we have no arrows in any way, shape, or form directed downwards. So, and from here to here, anything accounting for this gap? Nope. And how about this gap right here? No. Good? Steps don't change. Let's apply the same steps. Work on the second graph on your own. Can everybody look at the screen real quick? You choosing 2, who chose 2 as one of their points? Fantastic. Every single person should be choosing 2. What you end up choosing for this value is completely up to you. So I chose 0. What did somebody else pick? Hear all the different answers? -1, what else? 1, -5. Anyone else have something different? So as long as your second value is less than 2, because we already did the equal to 2. So as long as you pick something less than 2, 1, 0, -3, -5, -8, it's completely up to you. Yes, Cassidy? Yes. This is Miss J on cold medicine. Thank you. I'll fix that. But did we get the point about it's your choice what we choose for that second value? So just because you have a different value there doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you have multiple options as long as it's less than 2. There we go. Okay. Have you graphed your 2 points? How do I know how to graph this? Where do I start? Is anyone thinking the question, how do I know how to graph this? Because I kind of did when I looked at it, when I graphed my points. I should be banned from graphing. Question still stands. Let me fix my 1, 2, -9, 0. Okay. Yay for erasers. All right. This question still stands. Now that my points are right, how do I know where to start? Start where your restriction started. So let me say that again. Which point came directly from the restriction? The 2, and then the output was -9. So I'm going to start at 2, -9. So I put my pencil here, and what am I going to draw? Segment or array? Array through this point. Good. Excuse me. What point should I start with for my second piece? Yes, very good. But we already know that when I do graph that point, what kind of circle is going to go on it? Yes, great job. Is there a set rule on what the second point is going to be? Just has to be greater than 2. Great job. Give me something you're working with. I'll choose the same. 3? Let's try 3. Well, if I know I'm going to be multiplying by 1/2, it would be nice to keep my choice even. So let's try. I'm going to go with 4. 3 is not wrong. I just foresee it working out a little nicer if I choose an even number. You good? Graph it. Do we match? Raise your hand. I got 2, 3. Do we match? 4? Hey. No, no, yeah, maybe. Maybe. We're good? Nicole, you good? Okay. Ashley, how we doing? Good? Jonathan? Awesome. Graph 2, 6. What kind of circle is going to go on 2, 6? Open. How about 4, 7? What kind of circle on 4, 7? Closed. Where do I start? 2, 6? Segment or array? Good job. Yes. Where? Oh. Does that mean all my points are wrong? It's very possible. It's not my morning. Back up. Am I right? Am I wrong?
You're right.
I'm so stressed out right now. I think we're okay, yes? There we go, +5. Yay, problem solved. The world continues to spin. Okay, third example on the back. Let's go. Steps don't change. Yes. Yes, after. Where's your next class? Do you come down this way again? Okay, so in your travel stop by, I'll jot the notes down on a sticky note and I can transfer it right over. So I can get accurate grades and everything like that. So you and I are going to work on this one together, okay? First step, take your first piece. So I literally just take what I see here and I write it down. X plus 4. And my rules about x plus 4 is when x is greater than or equal to -6 and less than 2. And I put that in a box. Now to graph anything, I need to have 2 points. So see how it says in your notes, identify the x values given by the domain restriction? In this case, it's pretty nice because it actually gives me 2 values. What 2 values am I given? -6 and 2. So we're going to evaluate this expression at both of those points. So this is going to become -6. You keep going with that, Michelle. Jasmine, we know based on the inequalities. So the point that comes from plugging in -6 will be solid. The point that comes from plugging in 2 will be strictly less than. Would that be open or closed? Open. So check this out. This is going to be a solid dot because I have the or equal to, yes? And this will be an open circle because I have a strictly less than. Yes? Awesome. Okay, Michelle, coming back to this. I did -6 plus 4, and I got -2. So what ordered pair comes from that? Very good. And then I do 2 plus 4, and I get 6. What ordered pair comes from that? Good, and now we can go graph that. So to Jasmine's point, the next part is to decide open or closed circles. Yes?
The second one, is it okay if it's just...
Good morning, East Bedford High School.
It's just going to be
Today
1
is
point.
September 28th. Please stand for the pledge.
We usually do have a couple minutes, so once the pledge is over, keep working.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Students are reminded to be responsible by being on time and in uniform, to be respectful by treating others with kindness, and to be safe with words and actions. Have a day of excellence.
So the question came up about the second piece. What comes up from the second piece? How many points do you have? Only 1. So this is going to be a special case where it's giving you a single ordered pair. What's the ordered pair? Very good. 2 comma negative 6, and that's it. 2, negative 6. I'm backwards on what's open and closed here. I do. This day 142? Hi. Yes. Okay. I will. You're welcome. Bye. Cassidy, check in with me at the end of class. Oh, that's sad. That's fine. I'll catch up with it later. Okay, last piece. What 2x values do you guys want to work with? 2 and 4? We did 4 last time. Let's do something else. 5. Let's work with an odd number. Just for fun. Why not? Sure. If you're still color coding, that is technically a piece of the piecewise. Yep. That single point is what she's asking about. Do we match on our points? Yes. Yes. Great conclusion. She said if they give us 2 points, it's always going to be a segment. The answer to that is yes. If I'm just given a single restriction like this, it'll always be array. What kind of circles am I going to graph here? On 2, 0, what is that going to be? Open, because x is strictly greater than 2. So this is going to be open. And what's this one going to be? Closed. Which point do I start at? 2, 0, segment or array? Array, very good.
Miss, wouldn't it be negative 5 comma negative 3?
Negative 5. Nope. We plugged in a positive 5.
Oh.
So that's the importance. That's why it's nice if we box it, because then we keep track of it. We don't by accident pull something from our equation. Do our graphs match? Do we match? Very nice. Okay, homework tonight is going to be practicing 3. So we did 3 in class. You'll have 3 for homework. I'm in his room H period.
Yeah.
Fridays. Yeah. But I will be here after school. You can stay for a little bit. If color coding the segments helps you, by all means, continue to do so. This should be an orange dot. It goes with that middle piece. Okay. If I have like x's between 2 set points, it's definitely going to be a segment. If I just have like x is greater than 4, it's giving me a starting point, but is it giving me an end point? No. So then it would definitely be array. Who's going to see Cassidy next period? Anybody? Let her know she has a pass for her in the office. Everybody else, have a nice day. Good job today. Any questions on this? Send me a question on Remind. There was someone who was going to sign out a graphing calculator with me. See me at the end of class. I'm not remembering. Blame the cold. You're welcome. Nice job today, guys.